I'm just going to start out this video by saying it's okay to be afraid. It's okay. We all face fears every single day, whether it's in the gym or in your personal life. And for me, I apply a lot of the lessons that I learned in the gym to my life because it just makes me feel stronger. Because every time I'm in the gym, I do have those fears and I face a goal head on, and I would like to say a lot of the time I overcome those fears. And this is what I'm talking about when I say it's okay to be afraid. I was afraid from stepping away from a training regimen that I had been doing for years, bodybuilding. So I was really working hard in the gym. I was in the gym for hours a day, working on different muscle groups, and I needed something different. Since I'm not competing anymore at the moment, I needed to change it up. So my husband encouraged me to do a strength program to regain some of the strength that I feel like that I've lost. And it's an 8-week program. I've been following it for a while now, so it's a 5x5 program. And I've seen myself grow significantly. Mentally, because I'm faced with the challenge and hitting a weight and trying to increase that weight every week, but also physically. I am so much stronger. So I just want to let you know, it's okay to be afraid. I was afraid. I didn't want to do it at first, but now I'm a few weeks in and I feel freaking awesome. That's the best way to describe it. So this hair, very Madonna-like. I don't know what's going on. This big mane. I'm trying to tame it, but anyway, so we are going to cover 2 weeks of my strength program. I'm a little behind on my video uploads, so I'm just going to combine them together. This is week number 3 and week number 4. So every week I start out on Mondays with back squat. I hit 150 pounds. It was 5 pounds up from the week prior, so prior to week number 2. And I'm just going to commentate over the video. And I remember this Monday, it was a very tough day for me. I had worked, I think, like 16 hours that day and then went to the gym. And I probably should have stayed home and rest, but I actually needed it to just feel better. For me, when I go to the gym, it feels so much better. Even if I'm having the worst day and just want to relax and rest, there's something about those endorphins that just, whip my body back into the place where I like to be, which is happy and strong. 150 felt pretty good here. I got a couple solid reps in, but then I could tell around that 3rd to 4th rep is when I start to slow down a little bit. So what I was focusing on is just making sure to force those knees out so they're not caving in. And also I was working on positioning my bar on like the lower part of my back. So just like a low bar squat is what they call it. And that helps me keep my chest up. So when I have it up high, I tend to like bring my chest forward. So when I keep the bar a little bit lower on my back, I feel like I can keep upright. So you could try that out. Another thing, you can't tell what shoes I'm wearing, but I've definitely learned to squat with flat shoes. I have lifters, but I actually personally prefer to squat in Chuck Taylors. So I usually rock those on Mondays and Fridays because I hit back squats on Mondays, front squats on Fridays. Now you're looking at week number 4, and this is back squats again that we are looking at, and I hit 155. So I went up 5 pounds from the week before, and I was pretty happy with this. I feel like I definitely got a good depth, and I was speeding through the reps. Not speeding, but I was cruising, I guess you could say. I was able to get through those 5 reps. And then I'm also focusing on my breath, making sure I take a deep breath in before I start the descent. And then I let that breath out on my way up. Now I like to use a weight belt because not only does it help, I feel like, to like push more weight because it does kind of manipulate your breathing. I feel like it's all about back stability for me, so that's why I like to use it. And especially without a spotter, I feel just a little bit safer. It could be mental, but I feel more stable in my position, and I feel like it helps me with my breathing, and I feel like it's just there for support. On to week number 3, military press. And this is a very challenging movement for me because it's hard to not use any momentum with your body to get that weight up. So I'm really focusing on a strict press. So no jerking, nothing. Just using all my shoulder muscles to get that up there. So I did 65 pounds here for week 3, which was the same weight that I did for week 2. I wasn't able to go up, but I wasn't letting that get me down. I was just making sure that I could do the correct form and the amount of reps, 5 by 5 reps, at 65 pounds. And if we take a look at week 4 as well, I stayed at 65 pounds. I tried to do 70 and I failed. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here another week and then maybe next week I'll be able to increase the weight, but there's no point in rushing this, no point. So that's when the fear kind of comes in for me. When I fail, I get a little bit discouraged and I start to doubt myself. That's when you need to snap yourself out of it and be like, you know what? Things take time. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing easy happens overnight. And why take the easy way out anyway? So that's what I'm saying. Overcome those fears. I know I'm going to do more than 65 pounds. Just wait. Just wait. Maybe week 5's it. Stay tuned. Next up is bent over back rows. And honestly, I really need to work on these and to ask for some advice from my fellow lifters out there, because I definitely think I used too much weight. I was at 105 pounds and it felt heavy, and I felt like when you bring the row, it should be hitting more of like right under your chest, but I feel like mine's more like my belly button because I'm just trying to grind through that weight. Week number 3, deadlift, and right on my notepad here it says felt crappy. I had a rounded back and it was hard to apply my form. So obviously this wasn't the best lifting day. I also wrote on here from my husband, don't shoot your butt, lead with your chest. So I write these little notes so I can look back at them and remember them, and they're perfect for this type of situation. But I did 210 pounds, 5 by 5, and it was hard. I don't know, it was very hard to apply my form for sure that day, and I was just frustrated. But I pushed through, and I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna get through this. It's not my best, but I will hit it again the next week. So let's head to week number 4, and I rocked it. I went from 210 to 215, so 5 pounds up, and I wrote on here that I felt great. So I definitely felt like my form was stronger, and this is just an example that you're going to have bad weeks, but you're also going to have good weeks. Appreciate both, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. So just learn to work around it, to get through it, or if you need to, if you're the type of person that needs to rest, instead of going to the gym in a situation where you just feel fatigued or drained, listen to your body. Again, the main triggers that I'm focusing on when I'm deadlifting are firing the lats, engaging the hamstrings, getting the slack out of the bar, and trying to lead with my chest and making sure I have a good, strong position on the platform, meaning using my whole foot to stand my ground, not going on my heels too much, not going on my toes, using my whole foot. So almost like a tripod stance. Next, I always do pull-ups after deadlifts, and this is odd because on week 3, my deadlift felt weak, I guess you could say, week and week. But my pull-ups were really strong, so I got through 5 by 5 strict pull-ups, and when I say strict, no kipping at all, no using the momentum with your body, literally grinding to get your chin above the bar and using just my body weight to make it happen. And then on week number 4, I still stuck with 5 by 5. I've been stuck here this whole program. I just can't get any more. And the reason why I stayed is because you can see on this final rep, I used a little bit of a kip, and I had to redo that rep over because I do not cheat myself. But it's just a sign that I'm not ready to move up. So 5 by 5 strict pull-ups, hey, I'll take it. And if you're watching this and being like, well, I can't even do a pull-up, I've been there. It was like in 2013 when I started CrossFit, and everyone was doing pull-ups, and I was just like discouraged, and I'm like, I can't do one, it's never gonna happen for me. That's not true, because now I can rep them out. So what I did is I worked on using resistant band pull-ups, and then I moved to standing on a box and jumping up. I also did negatives, so I would jump up and then slowly bring my body back down, jump up, slowly bring the body back down just to gain that strength. And those are just the tools that I used. And then eventually I got one pull-up, and then it was like, all right, well, if I can do one, I can do two. And then I would go to two, and then once I was strong there, I'd just move up. So you could try that out if you don't have pull-ups yet, but it is possible, ladies. It is. And there are machines out there that are assisted too, so look for those. On week 3 for my front squats, I hit 115 pounds, 5 for 5. I felt pretty strong here. I felt good. Front squats are always a little bit uncomfortable because the bar where it rests right here, and so I'm just trying to figure out ways to make it more comfortable, but the heavier it gets, the more uncomfortable it gets, so I haven't really had any success there. But I have been focusing on stretching a little bit before so that I can make sure that my elbows are up high. That way you're not leaning forward when you're going down into the squat, because that happens easy once the weight gets heavy. So I've been working on stretches, like against the wall, and I'll just stretch all this right here, get it nice and open before I hit those front squats. Again, I'm wearing super flat shoes so that I have a lot of stability on the ground, that I can feel that sturdy contact, and I'm just working on getting the depth, not caving my elbows in and not caving my knees in, pushing everything out and up. On to week number 4 for front squats, I hit 120, so up 5 pounds. But I did write a note on here that I tried from 125 and I failed significantly. So sometimes when I have an increase, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go up 10 pounds. Yeah, it's a lot. 10 pounds is a lot. So I usually try to stick to about 5 pounds. And we will see, you know, what I can do as time goes on. But right now, that's pretty much the increments that I've been increasing. So if we move to bench for week number 3, this is the hardest lift for me to do alone because it's scary. There's that fear factor again. It's a lot of weight, and I don't want to get stuck at the bottom and then have to bail and drop the bar. Then where does it go? On me, on the ground. Then everyone's looking at you at the gym like, ooh, I don't want that. But sometimes it's also hard asking for a spot. This guy did spot me on the bench, but then he asked for my number, and I'm married, so it's kind of an awkward situation. So I don't like to ask for help all the time, but thank you. I know you gave me a spot. You're probably not watching this because I'm not that big of a deal, but thank you for your help, and I appreciate you taking the time to check on my bench. And I stuck with 100 pounds, and then week 4 I was able to do 100 pounds by myself, and it felt strong. And the reason why bench is hard is because I really work on getting that full range of motion. So I don't just like pump it here. I bring it all the way down and try to tap my chest and then bring it up. So it's like the full extension, and the heavier the weight gets, the harder it gets, obviously. So I don't know, maybe next week I'll have a spot. Maybe I'll be brave enough. Maybe I'll not be so fearful to ask someone for help. And a lot of the time, people in the gym are there to help you. And if you just ask, they probably wouldn't have any problem. I know when people ask me for help, I enjoy helping. So don't ever be afraid to ask for assistance. What's the worst thing they're going to say is no. Or they're going to ask for your number. We're all put in these awkward situations, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, that's a wrap up of week number 3 and week number 4 of my 5x5 strength program. And the overall message of this video, we talked about it a lot, is fear. Yes, we all have fears. Yes, we all face them. It's just you choose whether you want those fears to consume you and take over and make you afraid to try new things, or you use them as a way to encourage you to demolish those fears and to just conquer them and grow from there. I'm so happy that you guys are following me along this journey. Stay tuned for week number 5, because let me just tell you, it's the best week that I've had in the program, and I wish we were talking about that video right now. There's a lot of PRs, a lot of successes, and it's all happening in a huge transition in my life. I am leaving my career to pursue some other goals. So there's a lot going on, and I use the gym as a way to take out any aggression, to just forget about all those responsibilities and all those adult things that I have to do, and it's just a way for me to just focus on doing something positive for myself physically, but also in my heart, mentally. It's all about that self-love, and I really feel like that plays a huge role in it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate your support, and I will see you soon for week number 5.